Hello there and welcome back to another review. So let's get back into some more classic kung fu, shall we? Let's go for some more classic kung fu. Today we're going to be looking at The Secret Rivals or Secret Rivals. Now this is another Hwang Jang-lee, John Liu vehicle, directed and produced by See-yuen. And though I think James Nam I think had something to do with it, or at least he had something to do with the Korean cut of the movie. And hard to believe reviewing this now that this was made all the way back in 1976. Has a few titles, this one: Enter the Silver Fox Rivals, but I've always known it as Secret Rivals, and I think it's also called the Northern Leg Southern Fist as well in some territories too, so it's got quite a plethora of different names, this movie. I've said it time and time again, but can we please have a John Liu box set or a John Liu collection, for God's sake? I mean, the guy is one of the classic kung fu guys, and for all I know, by the time this review hits, there very well may be one coming out, or one may have been released, but we goddamn need very like a John Liu box set. And whilst we're on the subject, a Hwang Jang-lee box set as well would be really nice. I mean, 1978 is regarded to be the classic year for kung fu movies, so this, as I say, this is 1976, so it's set that period where they were still looking for the new Bruce Lee, the new big stars, so so the kung fu and Hong Kong movies were still trying to get their footing back. So the fight choreography in this movie may not as tight and full on and inventive as what we saw in the later 70s, but there's still loads to be enjoyed here with that classic slice of kung fu cinema. I think this too was really the film that put Hwang Jang-lee on the map in terms of being the villain, and why he was eventually picked up by seasonal films to be in Snake and Eagle's Shadow and Drunken Master and then movies like this. Well, actually, I'm saying that this film was actually made by seasonal films, and I think this actually might have been around their fourth movie. Either way, See-yuen had his hands all over this one. Now, one could argue this is classic. It is a classic kung fu movie, and for 1976, I don't really think you can give the film too much of a hard time. There was a Secret Rivals 2, of course, and I will get around to reviewing that very soon, which had Yuen Woo-ping involved as well. The great thing about this, and like Snuff Bottle Connection and Invincible Armour, is that they all involve like John Liu and Hwang Jang-lee. It allowed them to show off and do what they do. It showed why Hwang Jang-lee is such a great villain. Movies like this are why we love old school kung fu movies. The film isn't fancy by any means, but to me personally, any film with Hwang Jang-lee and John Liu involved, I am already a fan. Couldn't we even have like a Secret Rivals box set get released? Couldn't we just have that? As I say, take nothing away from Wong Tao in this movie too, as he really does bring something to the tables here as well, maybe in one of his best roles to boot as well, I might add. We even get a classic spaghetti western score playing for the movie, so let's dive in and check out Secret Rivals. Make no mistake, this is a great effort from seasonal films, and if you want your old school kung fu, Secret Rivals is definitely worth checking out for your independent kung fu, high kicking and old school action. So the film starts with this guy threatening a kid and wants to know where the palace is, even though he actually doesn't really give an answer, any time to answer whatsoever. We then meet this guy practicing his staff and sort of throwing dart work in front of his master. This guy raised him, right? Lu Kung, the guy from the start of the movie, arrives to warn him that General Sun and Xing Yi Wei are coming. They left China to sort of investigate a gold robbery. We catch up with Wong Tao marching through the town centre. He arrived at a hotel and is sort of smitten with the boss's daughter right away. She sort of likes him too, and it's one of them sort of, when their eyes first met, it's one of them kind of moments. We get mention of a certain silver fox, but are told that he pops up and vanishes like a ghost. Our baddies decided to hire an outsider under false pretenses to deal with Shen Ying Wei. Of course, we're in Korea, by the way. It's where the film's set. We see Wong Tao practicing his forms in front of this giant Buddha statue. Then this guy in the market gets hassled by some thugs, as these entertainers and salesmen often do in these kung fu movies. It's like I've always said, if you are in a kung fu movie, if you ever do find yourself in a kung fu movie, never ever work in the market or have a stall in the market or just anywhere near the market, because people will always be hassling you or whatever it may be. You're going to get your stall trashed, people are going to feed from you. Just people in the market, they always get the short end of the stick, they always get a hard time. But as I say, the guy in the market gets hassled by some thugs, and these entertainers and salesmen, like I say, it's just like kung fu law. If you are in the market, you're going to get something bad happen. So here's the uncle of the boy who got treated sort of threatened at the start of the movie, if you're with me so far. So naturally, Wong Tao comes to their aid, he kicks their asses, and John Liu is watching, grinning like he is in love with him or something. So John Liu turns up at the same hotel and asks for this Miss Chin, and I tell you, she is really popular. This contest begins for the king's bodyguard position, and we'll get 100 gold bars, and they sort of will also get 100 servants, which to be honest, that's not a bad deal. So, that doesn't seem actually too bad of a job. So they have to defeat like Kulong, their instructor, and he defeats the first two challengers. Right, he defeats them easily, right? And the prince is like smiling. It's like, why? You're looking for outsiders to help, remember? If the mission is to, like, you're looking for outsiders to help you, and your guy's just beating them up easily, surely that's not a good thing. You want them, he's smiling like, okay, that's just, everything's working out. It's like, no, you want them, you're actually looking for outsiders to beat this guy. So if anything, you should be getting impatient that they haven't defeated this guy. I say, why are they smiling? I have no idea. So Wong and John are there waiting for their turn. Then in walks this random Russian fighter sporting some burners and very memorable chest hair, enough to give even Chuck Norris some Way of the Dragon a run for his money. The competition gets called off for the day and he ends up getting drunk and bullies the kid who got slapped around at the start of the movie. And all this woman Miss Chin does at the hotel is just seem to walk around a lot. Right, okay, that's all she seems to do. John gets to show off his awesome leg work by kicking loads of jars. The boy's like, teach me kung fu, and he goes, okay, but only if you give this hairpin to Miss Chin. Okay, so Wong takes on the Russian super easy at the competition the next day. So Lou gets all bitter as he sees Miss Chin like Wong, and like Miss Chin likes Wong and not him. Don't you just love these classic kung fu love triangles? Don't you just love when a kung fu movie just tries to tell a love story? The Russians' men start on Wong. Now, make no mistake, the choreography in some parts is as fast as they come for an old school movie like this. And you might notice as well a certain Yuen Bu in the background here. He's in some of the shots. So Wong sort of kicks their ass, meets the prince and asks for 3 days before he takes up anything with him, because this is obviously the guy they've hired. Wong's got the job. And he's like, look, give me 3 days. Lou is like, hey, if I'd have entered the contest, you wouldn't have won. So now, of course, they must kung fu fight. So they start sort of warming up, and after some impressive stretches from Lou, out of nowhere, Wong Tao just breaks out some goddamn nunchucks, which is awesome, right? He just out of nowhere just breaks out these nunchucks. So I was so hoping he was actually going to use them in the fight too, but then annoyingly, Chin turns up as it just starts, and just sort of it doesn't happen. So the prince still wants to get rid of General Sun, who is on his way. Black Fox, a student of Silver Fox, turns up. Then boom, here he is, the villain you've all been waiting for. Hwang Jang-lee as Silver Fox. I mean, probably arguably you could argue probably his most famous role, but he's always Silver Fox. It's a shame Lou hasn't actually got to show off and flex his stuff more as the film goes on. I've mentioned in my review for it, The Invincible Army is probably one of my all-time favourite, not just John Liu, Hwang Jang-lee vehicles, if I can talk right, but it's also one of my favourite old school kung fu movies of all time. I absolutely love it. Snuffbolt Connection is really good as well, but if you have seen my review for Invincible Army, I absolutely love that movie. So it's a shame that John Liu hasn't got to show off his stuff more. He randomly turns up, and yes, it is one of the movies where these characters, villains and everyone just seem to appear magically out of thin air, as that did happen in Invincible Armour as well. Like suddenly some people are just randomly in the forest and some other people are randomly in the forest. It seems to happen. So he gets hit by Silver Fox on purpose and gets an imprint on this like metal serving tray from Silver Fox's fist under his clothes, so he can sort of learn his style. He starts teaching the young lad kung fu. Wong says to John he should leave town as he is too nosy, but he knows he is sort of Shen Wei, General Sun's assistant, right? Again, just ignore the names. I'm just crashing. I've probably got loads wrong anyway. Just go with it for the purpose of this review. So they all like, let's fight tomorrow. They're like, let's fight tomorrow. And you think, okay, cool, here we go. Only for Wong to wake up to a note from John Liu saying, look, we don't have to fight. And you're like, God damn it, right? You really wanted to see these guys sort of have a spar or fight, and it just doesn't happen. Liu's character, I think his name, if I can recall, is Xiao Yifei. And the boy who only ever seems to be carrying wood learns that Miss Chin has been kidnapped. Liu beats the crap out of the kidnappers in another fight that is sort of over before it starts, but it still does give John Liu a chance to shine. So he saves Miss Chin, he goes to leave but gets attacked by the prince's main help yet again for being far too nosy. Now it's at this point in the movie that John Liu really does get to show off and show what he can do. Silver Fox is like, I've sent some killers to kill Shen Wei. Liu sort of grasses him up to Silver Fox saying he's an enemy of mine too. We now cut to Wong Tao taking on Fox's men, all wielding weapons, and it's now he really gets to shine too. And yay, he breaks out the nunchucks, and man oh man, man can Wong Tao use these nunchucks. The fight scene isn't long. It should be more than like enough to scratch anybody's nunchucker itch. I mean, Silver Fox could have gone with his men to make sure they succeeded in their task, but anyway. Wong meets Sao Yufei, John Liu, and he's like, thanks for saving Miss Chin, and Liu is like, that's okay, and by the way, I've come to kill you. Amazing stuff here with Wong Tao, like they finally do fight, and Wong Tao dodging his kicks, and believe me, the speed is there. It just all looks great. So it looks like Liu has kicked his ass as Silver Fox is sort of watching the fight. He sees the fight, then Liu challenges Silver Fox as he wants revenge, you see, and it's so awesome watching these two go at it. Obviously both doubled whenever there's sort of a few flips, because John Liu and Hwang Jang-lee, they weren't sort of gymnasts, they weren't acrobatics, they weren't the kind of people that could flip and do these kind of things, but they were awesome kickers, and that's what you get whenever there is a vehicle that does have John Liu and Hwang Jang-lee in it. You are going to get your kicking action, and Secret Rivals does have that. And as I say, it's always great whenever John Liu goes up against Hwang Jang-lee. You're just getting, you know, great stuff. As I say, really amazing stuff. So you've guessed it, Wong Tao is not actually defeated and comes to John Liu's aid, and it's a great showdown at the end. I mean, it's up there, you know, it's really good, really great end fight. So as you guessed, they win, our heroes have a smile and laugh. Suddenly Miss Chin and the boy turn up as sort of Liu takes off, and guess he doesn't want Miss Chin anymore, or to be thanked for the hairpin that he gave her, but you know, whatever. But let me know, guys, I've sort of crashed through that there, but let me know if you have seen Secret Rivals. How do you rate it? Is it one of your favourite old school kung fu movies? Have you seen Secret Rivals and Secret Rivals 2? What is your better of the two? You know, or actually even that, what is your best Hwang Jang-lee and John Liu vehicle, or like what is the best movie that you've seen that has the pair of them in? We'll get round to reviewing loads more John Liu, like Mars Villa, Hwang Jang-lee, do Hell's Windstaff, Hitman, The Hand of Buddha, loads more classic kung fu movies to go. So I've done a lot of Shaw Brothers, but it's time to venture out now. It's time to, I say, bring in some of the other old school kung fu classic movies. But let me know, guys, if you have seen Secret Rivals, what you do think of it. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you again soon.
Don't concentrate on the finger, or you will miss all that heavenly glory.